Is he gonna do it? There we go. Now my camera went out. And I'm gonna send y'all the recording tomorrow. So I'll send one to you and I'll send one to you too. Okay,
perfect.
Oh, and then another thing is I'm glad that we both wore pink and red eyeshadow. We all have like intense eyeshadow. I knew there was a reason for that. If you see me, I'm normally very neutral. And I was like, you know,
Yes.
yeah, it's a different thing. So we're doing this today. So let me go ahead and get a new scribble page. Let me get this and let me put on my thing. And this woman, she is something else. Man, she has a mouth on her, dude. Like, oh, hang on. She just like, her attitude shows up and that precedes her. And she's like, where do you think they got it from? And I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, they seem pretty nice. And so this is all a feeling. So she like presents herself. She says, you know, she talks about hurting all the time. She talks about like, she says, I said, what are you doing? She's like, I was hurting all the time. I'm like, tell me more. And so now I'm hearing her and she just made my body hurt altogether. She says, ain't nobody need to be worried about me. And I'm like, okay, hold on. Where do you think I get this attitude from? She keeps talking about it. She's like upset with your father, in a way. I don't know why. She like rolls her eyes. She's like, ugh. And that was the thing in the beginning. I was like, oh, they'll talk together. And she's like to hell we will. And I'm like, yeah, stop it. Don't be a butthead. She's like this. I'll do it for them. I'm like, good. You need to do it. Hang on. What the heck? Daddy. Man, she just like feels, hang on. But for serious, I love them. She's saying, I love them. Hang on. She says, we didn't always have the best time, but I tried. So she's talking about doll. She's saying, you up on top, Megan, you like get in her face, or maybe she get in her face. There's like some sort of like thing, and she's showing me this. She's saying that you down here, Kristen, you're the more soft-hearted one, and you're like, I can't do it. Like you get mad, but you're more soft-hearted. She's talking about how she says, don't let her fool you with those eyes. So she's talking about this. I want to know what happened to you and why are you so sassy and why do you feel this way? Hang on. Mom is almost selfish. Like people didn't help her. They didn't help me. They didn't help me. They didn't help me. Well, what do you mean me? Why are we not helping you? What is going on? Did she always think like your dad was cheating on her?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. I go, oh, that is a heavy thing. She says, he's always flirting like that. I'm like,
yep.
Okay, hold on. He can be everybody's partner except for mine. She has this very like, she gets to it. Yeah, she feels like, I know she's not from there, but she feels like a good old Texas woman like me. Like she has this, but she's not. I know that. Hold on. He met me. He swept me off my feet. Don't let him fool you. That's how it's coming in like that. Hold on. They loved him, so y'all did love him. He's so we're separating this out. I was like, well, what about that? So you know, I don't like the fact that she puts y'all in between the two. Like, I don't like that. Like even right now, she's putting y'all in between both of them, and it's like, who do you choose sides on? You know, and shit, why are we this way? This is not a higher vibrational thing. But we're gonna work through this. So and she's talking about like dying like that, nobody missed me. She has like this, she died quickly, nobody missed me. We're gonna figure out what happened, what'd she die of, all that stuff. Everybody's saying like, Mama, I hope you're happy now. I hope you're safe now. I hope you're happy now. Everybody's talking about that. And as she says like that, I'm like, okay. Y'all been and seen other mediums, but not like this? Weird. She's talking about coming through and like talking, but she's been trying to come through and talk, but she's never been able to talk like this. She's like, I've been trying to come through and talk. I've been trying to come through and tell them, but not like this. Couldn't come through like this. She says, She doesn't like the fact that everything had to be reliant on him. But I mean, she's like, oh, I had to be reliant on him, you know? She has a lot of anger towards your father. And because I think your dad, especially as he got older, I think he's more of a sweet man. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a very sweet man. Like, he makes me feel like my father. My father was a player, younger, but he turned into like this really good person, you know, and I didn't want him to die the way that he did. You know, this is with your father too. And so, or like the suffering that went along with it. We'll go into that in just a second. Hang on. Your mother wants to shift the conversation back to her. So hang on, I'm gonna ask her. She shifts it back. I'm like, all right, hold on.
Typical.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. She's something. She wants to get her nails done. She says, I said, what? I do like this and I feel mine. And she goes, I want mine too, like that. And I go, okay. And she says, maybe, I guess she smoked at one point. She said it's from all the stress. I don't think she smoked in real life. So she's smoking now. It's weird, right? This is what and she's in a dark room. And a dark room means that she's still, what happened, Mom? What happened to you? What happened to you? Hold on. So whatever happened with her, it was surprising, it was shocking, it was intense, it was very, very quick. And she's talking about how God took me very quickly. That, like, turn the lights off. And so it's like freaking out. Did she end up going to like cardiac arrest or something, or what happened with her? Oh shoot.
Oh, she went into the hospital, and it just like all her organs started failing. So eventually they told me that we had to put her on hospice.
This was right before COVID hit.
Right. So we didn't get,
we weren't with her.
We weren't able to be with her, and we weren't able to visit her. They wouldn't let us into any place that she was at. And then once we put her on hospice, she was gone within like 8 hours.
Yeah, she's done. Gone. She's just talking about how her body failed her. That's it. So no wonder she's so like, what about me? What about me? What about me? Worry about me. Because she died alone.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. She keeps everybody saying like, poor mom, poor mama, poor mom, poor mom. So she feels the condolences. She knows that's the thing. She said, I said, what happened to you? Why did you get to this? She said, I wasn't treating myself right. Your mom is a ball of stress. She's a ball of stress. She's not treating herself right. She's not that old when she crosses over at all. Like she, hold on. She hadn't even made it to 65 yet. How old was she when she crossed?
It was the day before her 72nd birthday.
Oh, so she was. Okay. She's talking about how she didn't get to retire. That's why I was like, it's not 65 yet. Yeah. Okay. She's like, hang on. You know, she says now she's getting softer. She says, I guess she was mean to y'all. I guess she was like kind of rude. I guess she may have been snarky. She's a good person underneath it all, but she had a lot of frustration. And she says, I will never forgive myself in the way that I treated them. And that's a really heavy, heavy blow, because you don't hear that from Spirit a whole lot. And it's like her own insecurities got to her and they ate her up inside, and her own worries, and she had anxiety, and she had, my God, and her joints were hurting her, and she was in pain, and like I guess she took a lot of medications. She keeps popping pills over and over again. Pop, like, how do you say it? Like this. She's like,
yeah.
Like that. Yeah. She said, I wasn't a drug addict, but I like the way they made me feel. And I go, okay. I just don't want them to think that I'm mad. Well, you came off as very. He doesn't want you to think that she's mad. So whoever answered that, like, there you go. She says, it's okay. This is what we do. I'm going to cry with you in just a second. This is getting very overwhelming. So if you need to, she says, God, she's so quick. Hold on. If it seems like I have Tourette's, it's because it feels like it sometimes right now. Oh my God, she just went so quick. She wants her nails painted again. So maybe somebody did that to her, but then we ended up cremating her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. That was all that came in. She goes, she makes me feel like her little squishy hands. She paints her nails like red or pink. And then she goes and she makes herself go poof, which means cremation to me. And she's like, what was all that for? She said, I didn't even have time to wrap my head around anything. She's like, it was like, bye body. So she's talking about being there when this happened. She says, are we like contemplating spreading her?
We divided her ashes amongst the siblings.
But we were going to take her to Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay, please do that. Please do that. I asked her, I said, where are you at? I go, did they spread you? Did they keep you? Did they put you in a wall or a vault? And she talks about how she's going to go that, which means for me, that means spread. She says that she misses her family. She says, I said, what do you miss the most? She's in, man, my hand hurts. I don't know what she's doing to it. Hang on. Did she think she had carpal tunnel or something, or a lot of issues right here?
She used to get her hand would cramp and like lack up.
Right here.
Yeah.
I'm like hurting extremely bad right here. Yeah. Like for absolutely no, like this.
Yeah, so, I don't like lack.
Yeah. She's like making it hurt. Hang on. That's weird when they do that. Last time I had that, it was when somebody had gallbladder issues. And she's very much like I had those too. She's very much, it's gone. It's gone. We just talked about it. It's gone. The pain's not there anymore. That's so weird, dude. Y'all, hang on. She can't even eat. She's too nervous to eat. She likes to eat. She's too nervous to eat. She feels like every time she eats, she puts weight on her. She doesn't like that. It's a vicious cycle. She doesn't know what to do, but she doesn't eat the right thing, but she eats bread. Oh my God, it just keeps going. Yeah. It's like a floodgate. Hold on. So let me calm her down. Let me bring her down. Hang on. She goes, blah. She's talking about seeing herself in a dead state. She doesn't like how people saw her as like being gray or blue. Who was the person that saw her? Yeah, okay, cool, awesome. No, that's not good, but you know what I mean. Oh my, I sometimes say the wrong things when you're channeling. It's like, hold on. It didn't look good, Amy. I didn't look good. Look, do you see? They couldn't even. It's like they can't even look. Everybody's apologizing to her. I'm sorry. Let that go. Everybody let that go. Okay? Everybody let that go. She's okay, but she's angry with him. We gotta figure out why. Then we're gonna bring him in, but I don't want to bring him in yet when she's like this right now. She said there was a time when I looked at him and I just loved him. And I said, I know. And I said, well, what happened? And she said she was very controlling and he broke her heart. So it's both. I think he keeps trying to come up and apologize over and over again. So I'm going to let him in just a second. And my girls want to know if I'm fine and if I made it. There's a man's voice and he's okay. So yeah. All I hear it is like, my girls want to know that I'm fine. So he's answering it for you. Okay. So good. He goes, they're so good. They're so good. They're so good. He's like, don't be mean to them. He he's very smooth. He feels like fine wine, whereas your mother feels like a prickly pear. Cactus. That's the difference in the energy.
We called them Lucy and Desi.
That's exactly what this is. Yes. Yes. He, oh my God. They just, okay, so they're here together. They showed up and he looks very nice and very svelte. And then she just like turned herself into a very hourglass figure altogether, like with that, like that, like suck things in. And I'm like, okay, so now they're trying to morph back together. She says she didn't like her dark hair. She never liked her dark hair. That's why she always kept it light. And now she's like trying to put it back, but she doesn't want to look like an old person or like a grandma. She doesn't like looking old at all. That's not her thing. She's so little compared to him. She's so little compared to him. Like they stand next to each other. It's interesting. I kind of want him, I know he doesn't speak French, but I kind of want him to speak French and just say, oh, mon ami, and like just love him. Like, it's just a thing. Like they are a karmatic pair if I have ever met any before. And I have, this is a thing. I want to know what. Your mom is saying that the hospital was telling y'all lies, that they could have done more.
Yes, I know they could have. Yeah. But she was a heavy drinker, and when her doctor found out, when I told him, because I thought they needed to know, it was done. It was done. And with COVID, I couldn't be in there to yell at people and to make sure she was getting good care.
I know, and I want you to leave that guilt behind, but she's letting you know. That's not a normal thing for them to say. She says they could have done more. They were lying to you. They could have done more. They were lying to you. She said she likes box wine. Hang on. Yeah, she likes, I asked her, I said, what do you drink? What do you drink? And she shows me like cheap booze and box wine. And I'm like, okay. She said, she goes like this. She goes, I can be classy. I was like, okay, we can be classy. Good. Your mother is calming down now. So that was the initial of her coming through and giving you everything. And so now we're going to be a little bit more. It's like, imagine if you died alone and you had a very traumatic situation and you're pissed off at the person like that also died after, like this whole thing. And the first time you're able to come through, like, it's a lot. It's a lot. Hang on. Your father's like, are you done? And she's like, do you want to go? Like this, they go back and forth. Okay, let me grab, hold on. Are you? I don't think you need to say that to her. I think you're going to get your ass kicked if you say that. He goes, she's. And I'm like, you stop that here. And he's like, he says, oh my God, you took it the hardest, but you express it the hardest on the outside. Like y'all both, oh my God, they're like different levels. Y'all are like duality. Hang on.
Megan took it hard with my mom.
Yeah.
I took it really hard with my dad.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because he hangs around you, Kristen. He hangs around both, but over here, he starts over here. I hear you crying and you're saying, I just want to know if he was in pain. I just want to know if he felt anything. I just want to know this. And I want to know why. Why are we asking that? Hang on. was something about the doctors writing him off. Something about how, hold on. And then you were gone. How did that work? Hang on. Did he end up dying at home? Yeah, okay. I asked him, I said, where are you at? He shows me, I don't know if it was in bed, but when they show me bed, it means it was at home. Okay. And he shows me, so for me, he died in our sleep. Okay. Okay. He's talking about this. I don't know. That was okay. So that's I died asleep. I was at home. I was comfortable. I don't know. Okay. He was feeling woozy or something. I guess he had heart failure or something underneath it all. Or maybe, yeah. Cool.
He had like 6 heart attacks.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he realized he died. I don't know if he. Wait, but he was already gone. So the paramedics just came in? What is up with the trying to work on him then? But they couldn't do anything. The paramedics just came in and.
So my parents used to watch my girls when I worked, and my husband would drop them off in the morning. And when he got there, the house was locked because my dad was the one that got up early. So we finally got my mom awake to open the door, and my mom and my husband found him, and they called 911 because they didn't know. But Jesse, my husband, looked closer at him, and he was like, he's already gone. So the paramedics did get there, but they didn't do anything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Cool. Yeah, because they always talk about the pain of how much it hurts to try to bring him back, and he's talking about how they looked at him, but there wasn't any bringing back. He said, "Oh, that's so cute. He's so good. Like the whole sleep with the smile. That means it was okay." So don't ever think it was absolutely terrible. Okay. He said, that's probably also why your mom was so pissed because he left her.
Mm-hmm. She was very
mad. Yeah. Very, very angry about that. Says, she's like, I can't do this on my own. I couldn't do this on my own. What? She's very expressive. She said, every time I looked at the girls or every time I looked at your kids, it was just a constant reminder that you weren't there. They're like hashing it out. They're having it out together. She said, she's telling him, don't be lazy. She's talking about how she wants him to come and like watch after the kids, watch it while now they're teenagers. Says, comes after, hold on. Are they really? Wait, no. Hold on. Is somebody pregnant? Like having a baby soon?
Mm-mm.
You don't have old enough kids for that. How old are your kids right now?
Mine are 2 and 5.
Okay. So they keep showing me the number 2. 2 for me means like 2 months or 2 years. And they're talking about how they're going to handle this. And I think somebody's going to end up being a grandmother soon. I don't know where, but they talked about, we're going to go and look into that a little bit closer because they came together and they're like, here. And so I'm like, I don't think anybody's ready for that yet. That's not a thing yet. Don't do that. Exactly. And so I'm like, when it's ready, it's ready. Y'all don't do that. We're going to figure that out. Let me write that down. She keeps messing around. It's like somebody like living with their spouse, or like she calls it playing house. Who's like living with their spouse or like living with their significant other, but they're not married or something like that?
I was before I got married.
Okay. Okay. There's something about whoever that person is that like revolves around that. So we'll look into that a little bit more in just a second. She's talking about playing house. That's what you get. And I'm like, I don't know. She says that, hang on, mom is too snarky not to be correct. That's why I'm like, what? Hang on. Amir, Megan, do you have and it's not an issue, but do you have feminine problems?
Yeah, I've had trouble having both my girls.
Okay.
Well, my one.
It's okay. No, you're fine. Well, I had a total hysterectomy 5 years ago. So that goes along with like, yeah, it's a thing. There's something about having a baby. There's something about having a baby. I think it goes more down here, but I don't know how that would fit in. I don't know.
Megan just stopped her birth control.
Shut up. Really?
No, but I stopped it because it was like making me crazy. Like I was having horrible anxiety attacks. Horrible.
It's a thing, and it makes you want to kill yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Stop it. It's okay. So be very careful.
Okay.
Okay. Just be very careful. I only get this sign ever so often, and they're always pretty ripe. So just be careful.
Okay.
Okay. Hang on. Yeah, it does. With me, I would cry over spilled milk. I would cry over anything, and I wanted to commit suicide at one point. Like, and I was like, that's not me. That's not me at all. And yeah, never looked back. So know that that's a real thing. Hang on, I want to go with Dad. Dad, can you come over here real quick? Why is she saying? He's saying, I wish I could get together, but the families. Are y'all like in like 2 separate states together? Are y'all in 2 separate states?
Our family is broken.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He talks about how he wishes they could get together, but they're but he wishes that they could get back together there. He says that, hang on. There's some, Kristen, there's some male that may go along with your significant other though, that just showed up in the background, but we're going to let that go. But he's a lower vibration. I don't know who it is. So we'll get into that later on. Hang on, Dad, come back over here. He just like showed up in my head and like walked across, and I'm like, ooh, I know what that feeling is. Kristen, I almost, hang on. I want to go, hold on, where are you going, Dad? Megan, your father is worried about, I know the birth control made you feel like you're going nuts. He was worried about like the screaming and the anxiety and the yelling and the fighting and the I don't know what's going on. Like he makes me feel all that, and he's worried about that and how it can like cause a separation, how it can like pull the family apart even more. So like he shows me when gum sticks to his shoe and like starts to rip off. He's worried about how like you're going through, not, I would say like a crisis of where you need to be and what you need to be at and what you need to do in your life. Like that's a whole thing right now. And so we'll look in that in just a second. I kind of, Kristen, on the bottom, like for some reason, I really want you to be like a NICU nurse or something like that. I know that you're not, but like, yeah, like helping babies, making sure that they don't die. Like that would be amazing for you. Why? What is the significance of that? It's okay.
My dream was to become a nurse, and for almost 20 years, I've been going to school to become a nurse, but that's just completely changed. But yeah, I was in nursing school. COVID made me change my mind, and now I actually want to go into mortuary science.
Okay, perfect. You have the Scorpio thing underneath you. We'll look at charts in a little bit too, and I'll show you where that's at. So that's why I was like, you need to be in NICU. You need to be.
That was what I wanted to be.
Yeah, that's him. I was like, what do they do? What happens? What does she do? Yeah, you feel like that. You need to be in that darker area where you're able to go and pull people out of bad situations and make them feel okay. Yeah, that's totally a thing. I think mortuary sciences would be good, but I still think you'd be very great at the other. Just think about it. They always need people that are that intense. Not a lot of people can do that, you know? And then Miss Megan on top has like business written all over her for some reason. Like, I want you to open up your own business. Like, that's just another thing. And like in dark, or like, have you ever thought about opening up like your own crystal shop or something, or getting even into like that area?
I no, I've been a teacher my whole life.
Okay. So teaching is like running you dry and ragged.
Yeah.
You need to get into something a little bit more spiritual, a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more intense, but you also need to have something that deals with like commerce or e-commerce, because that way you can do all your orders from home too, if you wanted to, and then create your own shop. Like, that's the whole thing. You have a lot of Taurus in you underneath it. And so it's like this intense business side. So you're the helping of the dark, you're the dark of the business. It's like both. And when I say dark, I mean, like, I would be conversational dark because I'm a Scorpio Libra mix. So it's like, yes, but with this friendly vibe. See? So it's all together. So yeah, we'll look at charts in a little bit. I want to show you why you fit that persona perfectly. Okay. Hang on. I want to ask Dad, what else? So Dad's bringing up the money in the career. What happened, Dad? Dad's talking about how when he passed, there was like either this huge, hold on. What's hers is hers. What's mine is mine. What's this is this. Says that with, when Mom ended up dying, she says, I guess the situation with the house and the home and all of her stuff, she says it was fucked up. Like legit. That's literally what she said. She said it was so fucked up. And I go, why? She says people come out of nowhere to try to get a piece of you, you know? And I go, really? And she goes, oh, let me take this over. She talks to your dad. I'm like, okay. She says, then they want the house, and then they want taxes, and then they want talking about somebody talking about with the house wanting to fix the place up, but then they got rid of it. What's up with that?
So my parents adopted 4 kids when my sister and I were 4 and 8 or 4 and 6, somewhere in there. So the 4 of them kind of like clung to each other and always felt like they had to stay together. They got into drugs. They were stealing money from my parents. We lost the house, all of it. And so when my mom died, the one brother, immediately I called the bank and said, you know, my mom passed away. You can take the house back, because we didn't want it. There was no will. Yeah. So we didn't want to go to court and fight them with it. Yeah. No, he immediately called me. No, I'm buying it. I'm gonna fix it up. I'm gonna sell it. And I said, fine, Kristen, I don't want anything to do with you guys or the house or any of it. If you want it, have it. And then we were getting calls about, I was getting calls about my mom's car and the house, because then he didn't do anything with it. And who knew what was happening with it? And the neighbors were calling me, and it was a huge mess.
Really? Oh my God. Wait. Heroin, fentanyl, meth, you name it. But she said, I said, what are they doing? And so she's talking about it all. Sorry. I'm like, why did we do that? She says, who knows how many venereal diseases they have? Why did they do that? And she's just like, terrible. I'm so sorry. That's what she's saying.
That's her. That's honestly, that's her.
She always was.
She says, how many venereal diseases they have? Who knows that? Hold on. She almost like, I don't want to say this. Stop. She says, why did I adopt him? I love them, but they're more of a headache than what they're worth.
They both said that.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. That's hard for me as a medium to say. That's why I'm like,
no. But these 4 were awful.
Terrible.
Awful. They treated my parents like garbage. They treated us like garbage. The one threatened to kill my husband. They're awful. They're just awful. They're awful.
We believe that they
Chicago? Are they in like Detroit or Chicago? Or where are they at?
One is in the Chicago area.
Okay. So let me tell you about what that is. So yesterday I was watching a thing. Whenever whenever so I kind of just let spirit take over what I should watch for the day, and it always has something to do with my clients the next day. So yesterday it was about the suburbs and the drugs in outer Chicago and how everything is like broken down, and in Detroit, and how you can get like a house and a property for like $2,500, but it's in the middle of like the ghetto. And so I looked at all that and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. So they just brought up that episode of what I was looking at. And
yes,
I was,
Chicago.
that's so weird. Oh my God, that's cool. Hold on. I mean, it's not good for them, but it's cool how they picked that out of my head. She's been waiting for this for a long time. I think this, I was, okay, so let me tell you something too about this with your mother. So today I have been hearing the name Sandy, Sandra all day long. And one of my best friends, who's also my complex manager here, we live in like condos. Her name is Sandy Sandra. I'll send you a picture. She looks like your mother. And I have been thinking that I've been needing to call her all day and I haven't, and it's your mother. She's been with me all day, like wanting this. And so that's why I was like, hot damn, like this is the thing. So between that and that, hang on, I want to go and ask her more questions with, says, I used to be the belle of the ball, Amy. And she says, now I realize all my riches are in heaven. Yeah, she's okay. She's okay. See how she's calming down? She's a little bit more relaxed. She's still snarky, but all that insane energy is gone. She says, she comes up to you at the same time, and she grabs your hand and she says, I want to thank you for going through all this trouble with me. Thank you for going through all this trouble. She says, I know that I didn't ask you to do that. She just kind of like assumed that you needed to, or assumed that you had to. And she knows now that that she's very grateful for it. It's weird. She's tied between, I asked her about the 4 other kids. She doesn't like them, but she would be the person that says like, oh, come back. Oh, it's okay. Oh, come back. Oh,
absolutely. That was always a fight.
Yeah. And she says, I'm sorry for putting you through that. I'm sorry for putting you through that. And she says like this, which means now I see now I know. And she says, your dad says you were just doing what you needed to do, talking to her. And she says, I didn't have you here. And he says he would have enabled it too. He said he would have looked the other way. He goes, they just said it was because we're getting older. So it's y'all saying that. Says, I think so. He says he wanted to put up with that in his younger years. He wanted to give your mom the family that she always wanted, and it turned out not great. And hang on. Kristen, hold on. Kristen used to drink a lot or something like that, and then you stopped doing it. I don't know, something getting into there. He's talking about how like you cope with depression, or you would cope with depression, and then like you stop doing this or whatever. I don't think you're ever drugs. He says that, hang on. Kristen, are you and like your husband like on the fritz or something like that?
No.
Okay.
I've been sick for like a week. So I've got a lot of stuff going on.
Okay. Because he talks about how he wants him to take care of you. That's the reason why I asked that. I was like, he says, tell him I want him to take care of her. So it's probably because you've been sick too. Says that, are you like afraid that your sickness is more than what you think right now? Okay, cool. He has that. It's almost like, I think it's underlying of something else. And so that's that feeling. And so we're going to get into that too. Hang on. Well, you're not dying anytime soon. Shut up. You say you don't want to die. You're not going anywhere anytime soon. Says that, I think at this point, Kristen, I think you're trying to like turn like your whole lifestyle around or something. Like, I don't understand that. Like, he flips our diet, he flips everything else. Whoop, he's like trying to turn it around. There is something, do you feel that I almost feel like maybe you have like a metabolism issue or something going underneath it too? I don't get it though. It's a feeling. It's a feeling like mixed with who's like borderline, what is that? Insulin, but you're not diabetic.
I'm borderline.
Shut up. Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He said he shows me insulin, like a shot, like what they do in their stomach. And then he puts border and I'm like, borderline. Okay. So yeah. So I want you to work really hard to like flip things, change things. He keeps putting, literally, he's like throwing lettuce in my head, like vegetables, like, and I'm like, all right, cool. So I think you can change it. I think you can move it. You can definitely do that, but I want you to get into that too. He said, be around for your kids. Yeah. He says, I'll be around for us. So he'll be around for you. He says you get very low. He says you get very dark. He says she gets very low. She gets very dark. He says you walk around like your kitchen like a zombie, which means like where, hang on. You're trying to pull yourself, you're trying to get out. So he's trying to help you. He's trying to raise your vibration. And so I think with this, getting into mortuary sciences, going into the creative area of that as well, I think that would be good. If you ever wanted to go, oh man, you'd be really good if you did mortuary sciences and you did 4 babies and 4 infants, and then you traveled. Ooh, that'd be a whole nother thing. Ooh, like you're a specialist in that. Sorry. Now I'm just like thinking with you and how you could put them all together. Hang on. I want to go over here for Megan as well. I don't want to leave one out. Mom. Oh, we'd have it. We'd have at it. We'd have at it. As she's saying with you. She says, tell her I'm sorry. So mom's coming up and apologizing to you about how like you'd fight it out. You'd fight it out. She says, it was me. Mom's all about me. Mom's all about me. She says that Megan, are you like trying to attempt to start traveling now or something? Or what's going on with that?
We're me and my husband and my girls were trying to go to Mexico so that my family in Mexico can meet my husband and my girls.
Okay. She says, I go, what do you want? She says, tell her I'm going to go on that trip with her. Tell her I'm going to go travel with her. That's what she's like, okay, I'll let her know. She's like, I need to go together because she didn't have the option to before. She wasn't able to. She wasn't physically able to. Oh my God. Wait, where at? Can you tell me where at? Hang on. Are they in Juarez?
They're in Mexico City.
Mexico City. Okay, so it's that. Okay. She's talking about how it's beautiful and how it's like tropical in a way, or could be tropical. And I'm like, okay, she's not on the border. Okay, cool. She says, whenever you go there, I want you to go to the center of it and take a picture in the center with the fountain. I don't know. I've never been there before, but like that's a whole thing with like a big ass federal building in the back or something, but it's pretty. I don't know. Everything's brown and gray. I want to go there too, but I'm terrified to go because I'm in Houston. Hold on. The girls don't know Spanish. I go, what? She says, how are they going to talk? I said, I don't know Spanish. She goes, they don't know Spanish. I was like, okay. She says, she knew it kind of like, it's almost like she just didn't talk it as much at all or something like that. Like she just didn't talk it at all. Yeah. She's talking about how she knows it, but she wasn't a person that talked at all. She says that, hold on. She's talking about how y'all have a muted palate. She's talking about how it needs to get zestier, it needs to get spicier. She's talking about how she couldn't eat it because of her gallbladder issues. But she tried to. How did y'all meet? How did you and him meet? Hang on. So they met when they were a lot younger, and then he swept her off her feet. That's what she keeps showing me. Okay. Okay. A lot younger. It's almost like so they moved to the Chicago area. They moved up there together.
Well, I don't know where Danny lived when they worked together in Chicago.
Okay. I was like, where did y'all meet? Did y'all meet down in Mexico? Because that's a whole nother thing. And she's talking about, no. Like whenever we met up here. And he swept me off our feet. And then she does Chicago. She circles that. And I'm like, okay. And she says, she says, you were a handsome man, weren't you? He says, I was. And I go, okay. And he says, he liked her fire. He liked her mouth. He liked her fire. He liked that. And then he did have an affair, though. I think he ended up having one. It's a thing, but it's okay. It's okay. It's gone. It's done. He apologizes for her, apologizes to her. Oh my God. Do y'all have any questions? They love each other, dude. They love each other. And they're together, and they love y'all. And I want you to keep those 4 assholes away from you.
Yeah.
As far as humanly possible. It's like they wrecked her stuff. They
literally did.
Yeah, literally. And like,
if we believe that they'd still be alive if they weren't around.
Yeah, totally. The amount of stress they have. You know what they just showed me? They showed me a dresser, and they showed like it exploding. And that means it's like, it's all just wrecked. These 4 were chaotic as shit and didn't give a damn. They feel like they were on meth and heroin all the time. Like that's what they were on. Like, and hold on. Your dad's like, bygones be bygones. So your dad's trying to push it away. Your mother is over it, but both of y'all, you have your parents on you, like white on rice. It is a thing, and they are both okay. But she was mad at him. Woo! I haven't felt that type of sass in a long time. I think that's why I had my client beforehand. I had a very chilled Hawaiian guy, and then it went to sassy mix. It was like getting up all the energy, man. Do y'all have any questions for them? They're wonderful. I don't want you to think they're in a good place. Hold on. I want to ask them what their heaven is. Hang on. Let me figure that out. Hang on. Your father says, with you talking to your mother. And she goes like that. So it's like he's trying to bring it back. And she's over it, but you can tell that there's that. I'm blushing right now because how it feels. Hold on. One talks about wanting to be by a lake and going fishing. Like one wants to be there, and then the other one wants to be like on the beach. Like they're both very, very different. She says that, oh my God. She's talking about wanting to have her toes in the sand. She wants to do that. She wants to be on this beach, toes in the sand. I think she's a Mexico person all the way through, or like getting into that area. I want her to be in Florida. And he's like, okay. So he like comes along with her, you know? So I think hold on. They didn't have the money to gamble, but they're like, playing slots, but they didn't gamble in real life. So I'm thinking they're just like having fun. Hold on. He says, we're together, babe. I got you. Yeah, they're fine. They're fine. Yeah, they're fine. Yeah, I think it's more like this. It almost feels like I'm in Florida, like that type of thing. But in a nice area of it, not like the center area that's full of meth. So yeah, they are, man, they're apologizing to each other. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Oh, you don't like, there's just so much stuff going on behind the scenes. I wish you could be in my head. I wish there was a way for me to broadcast what's going on in here. One day that will be a thing. So do y'all have any questions for me at all?
I don't so much have a question, but can you tell my mom that I have her damn clock?
Her what?
Her clock.
Yeah, hang on. Hang on. Is that like the only thing you got out of there?
She used to tell me all the time, when I die, I don't give a shit about any of this, but take my goddamn grandfather clock.
Okay. She goes, I go, what's up with the clock? She says, because that's the only thing I wanted her to have. And I'm like, okay, so she knows. Okay. Does she like unwind it or something, or make it slower? Okay.
She unwinds it, like it unwinds super fast, and my husband is really scared to leave it unwound.
Yes, she keeps talking about. I said, what's up with the clock? She puts it. She turns it backwards. So I'm like, do we unwind it? So that's her. Okay, that's her messing with it. Okay, so know that that's a thing. And then what about you, Miss Kristen?
I'm glad I got closure. This was really hard for us because they both just passed so suddenly, and then I'm glad they're okay.
Oh yeah, they are. They're more than okay. I'm gonna go back and rewatch your session just because of how much stuff they have. It's insane. And your mother is the one bringing them through. Your mother is the fire all the way. Yeah. And so just know they did a release. They're okay. They're fine. And they're going to be watching over you. Okay. And if you ever have any questions or if you need me, just email me. Okay. And then the other thing I need y'all to do tonight, okay, is when we get off, I need you to take a couple of minutes by yourself. I need you to either have a good breather or a good cry, because this is a lot of energy and we have to let it dissipate. The next thing is you may have some cool dreams, okay, coming up, because they're here, they're hardcore. And you may have some really cool feelings.
Hopefully Megan will more than me, because for some reason my mom will not come to her.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's because of the sadness. It's because of the sadness and the anxiety. And so it's hard for her to come through. Also, mom, whenever she was in that state, it's hard for them to be pleasant and they don't want to come through and be pissed off. Right. Yeah. And so there was a lot of stuff. We processed through a lot of things, and I can tell you it'll get better. And so I want you, before you go to bed tonight, both of y'all, if you can light a candle. Candles are a big thing. Just light it. Say it in memory of them. Say, like, mom and dad, I'm lighting this candle for you. I love you and I appreciate you. And then all you have to do after you do that, light it, blow it out, say a little prayer, and then say, I'm excited to have a dream about you. I'm excited to see you. Okay. And if you need me or if you have any questions, email me. Okay.
Thank you so much, Amy.
You're welcome. I love you guys. If you need me, let me know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.